Satya, Mind, Body, Spirit, Health, and Healing. This TMS talk comes from a conversation had between Anita Moorjani and Alex Ferrari on his podcast called Next Level Soul. Before getting into this one, and because I know how triggering even the word cancer can be, I want to mention that Anita is alive and well, thriving, cancer-free, and serving with all that she learned, some 20 years or so since the experience discussed in this clip. In this clip, we get to take a good look at the power of belief, the placebo as well as the nocebo effect, and the immense power doctors have in our society to either hurt or heal. I also want to add that reading Anita's book, Dying to Be Me, profoundly altered my perspective on cancer. It greatly increased my understanding of why cancer occurs and drastically decreased my fear about it. It showed me that cancer is not simply a random circumstance that befalls us. We don't have to be victims to it, and I actually do have a huge ability to impact my health outcomes. As always, I'll leave a link in the description to the full podcast. And I'll leave you with this quote from Dr. David Hawkins. That is the difference between treating, curing, and healing. Treating is relieving a symptom. Curing is overcoming the disease. But healing includes the whole person.
So I was diagnosed in 2002, and it started with a lump on my literally on my shoulder, like between my neck and my shoulder, and it was so I went to have it checked out, and they did a biopsy, and it was diagnosed as lymphatic cancer. At that time, it was staged as a stage 2. And then over the years, so the thing is, what was going on for me at that time was that my two people very close to me in my life and the same age as me both had cancer. Both of them were dying of cancer. They had both had terminal cancer. They were dying of cancer. One of them was my best friend, who's as close to me as a sister. We grew up together. So it was a shock when she was diagnosed. And then my husband's brother-in-law, also the same age as me, was diagnosed. And so both of them were having the best or most expensive treatments that money can buy in the best cancer hospitals. We were living in Hong Kong. One of them was being treated in the best cancer hospital in New York, and the other one in the best cancer hospital in Hong Kong. But both of them continued to deteriorate. And from my perspective, it looked like every time they had a treatment, they were getting worse. So when I was diagnosed, and the only option I was given was the same treatment they were given, the chemo, the radiation, I was like, no, I don't want that. I'm going to take my chances with natural treatments, because I am seeing these two people very close to me are deteriorating and dying, and they're having the best treatment that money can buy in the world. So I did opt for natural therapies, but interestingly, I would get better and then I would get worse. I would get better and I would get worse. And I went through this over a period of 4 years. And I reached a point where I started to really deteriorate, because it started when a doctor told me that I had to, who said that I needed to get some scans to get real about where it's at. And then so this is what's really interesting. I was being treated by an Ayurvedic doctor in India, and I was actually feeling a lot better. And the doctor was telling me I was getting a lot better. So I was feeling so much better. I looked better. Everybody said I was better. And then I fell into again, with people telling me, oh, you need to get scans from a real doctor. You need to go to a real doctor. Yeah. So then, so I succumbed. I went to a Western doctor who did the scans and said that I was being foolish going to the Eastern doctors and everything, and did the scans. And then he told me, you only have 3 months to live at this rate. And after I heard that, my health deteriorated dramatically, like dramatically. And I just, I was then started to then stop. My body stopped absorbing nutrition. I lost my appetite. My muscles started to deteriorate. I could not walk anymore. My lungs were filled with fluid. I just deteriorated. I got worse and worse and worse very rapidly. And then on the morning of February the 2nd, 2006, I didn't wake up. I was in a coma. And my husband was freaking out. He rushed me to the hospital, and the doctors said, "This is it. She's not coming out. She's dying." But unbeknownst to everybody around me, I was feeling amazing. I had left my body, my spirit, my soul, whatever we want to call it, had actually left my body. And I was feeling incredible and light and free. Oh, and I also want to add one more thing, is that at this point where I was at, where I went to the doctor and everything, at this point, the doctor actually said that whatever we have, the chemo and everything that we have, will no longer work for you. It's too late. That's what the doctors said. They said, we can throw everything at it, but it's too late. It's not going to save your life. They even said that.
God love them. Really quick, before you get into your near-death experience, I just think this is a really important point to kind of dive into a little bit, is that your mindset changed by someone in authority who you believed, and by that case, your body reacted to what you believed was to be true. But when you were with the Ayurvedic doctor, you were feeling great. Everything was moving along, because he told you a different story that you believed. You're like, you're getting healthier. I'm like, you know what? I am getting healthier. But the second you have 3 months to live, you're like, I'm dying. Boom. And your entire body started to shut down based on those few words. Is that what happened in your opinion?
That's what it felt for me. Yes, correct. That is what I know. And sometimes I hesitate sharing that part of it so definitively and clearly, because there are people that are that have great doctors. There are some great doctors, and they're being treated right now. I don't want to disrupt anything that's working for them.
Exactly. It is a case-by-case basis, but it does show the power of the mind. The placebo effect, essentially.
100%. And this is why I like to appeal to doctors to please watch your words. This is the thing. They don't realize the power they have. And I've seen it happen time and time again to other people who talk to me, who share with me that my story helped them. They say exactly the same thing, what you and I just said, that they felt worse, or they're really, really scared because of what their doctor told them. But they were doing fine until they had the diagnosis.
Hopefully this conversation will help a few more people along the way. So tell me, when you had your near-death experience, you said you were feeling great. At what point did you leave your body?
If you found this to be meaningful, please like, share, and subscribe to support and encourage future creations of this kind. And if you feel the guidance of someone who has been walking this path for some time would be helpful for you, I would love to work with you. I am now accepting bookings at howtosayfupolitely.com.